So welcome back to our other class. It has been a long break ever since we last did these classes. I hope you've been practicing. If you have not been practicing, then I really recommend you should start straight away, because these programming classes, they need really real practicing. Otherwise, if you don't practice, then it'll be just wasting time. So today we're going to resume with Bootstrap from where we stopped at from the previous classes. And if you're really new here and you've never done anything, then I'll recommend you to check out the playlist on my YouTube channel, the playlist of learning web programming for beginners, and begin from video number 1, because it's going to be lecture number 6. So if you don't know about HTML, setting up the environment, really need to go and check out those videos and start from where we started from. So you watch first as you practice, and make sure that you catch us, and then move on the same level with us. So with that said, I'm going to open my Visual Studio Code. For those who have been following, for those who have been following, you know what is meant by Visual Studio Code. But if you're new here, then that shouldn't worry you at all. Just go ahead and watch the previous videos, and then you'll be able to do what? To do the Visual Studio. To understand what is meant by Visual Studio Code, how to set up the environment, what is meant by GitHub, all those things. We explained them in previous lectures, which is in the playlist on my YouTube channel. So I'm going to open my VS Studio Code. There it is. And then I'm going to enter there the project that we've been using to practice on. So that is a new instance of Visual Studio Code. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to drag and drop the project that we've been using to learn HTML or web programming. So it is in GitHub, and it is in do I still even remember this month of April, LearnWeb, and then this folder of Bootstrap. So if you've been following, you must be knowing what is meant by setting up a GitHub and where you have to put your project in the right place. So if you really follow the previous video and you're new and you follow the previous video, you'll be understanding what we're talking about right now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to drag and drop this project into the VS Studio Code. And there we are. And then I'll put it in full screen mode so you can see everything. So there we are. Now, with that much said, I'm going to open at least here one file, and I make sure that everything is working clearly. So how will I do that? I'll simply go to my browser. First minimize my chart. Okay, I'll go to the browser, and then let me reduce the tabs, and then go to Ctrl-O, press Ctrl and O, or you can simply come to File and then Open File. So you'll come to Desktop, where you saved your project. Mine is on Desktop, GitHub, and then this month, and then LearnWeb, and then Bootstrap. And then you see there are different files here that we use for practicing on. So if I want to look at the file of cards, I can click there, and I can look at the file of cards. So it means that our project is working perfectly. So today we're going to look at something new, which we call Bootstrap Grid System. So Bootstrap Grid System helps us to organize our content in a website with simplicity, and it helps us to make responsive web application. So Bootstrap system has Bootstrap Grid System has 12 layouts. Let me open here where I can get these notes and then read much more. It has 12. You can come to W3 Schools and then go for Bootstrap 4, and then come to Bootstrap Grid System. Then you'll be able to get all the interesting notes that you may need to learn about Bootstrap. So a Bootstrap Grid System, it is a system that helps us to divide the columns, our web page into columns. And those columns can be divided up to 12 columns. So it is up to you to play with these columns and see how you want them to be rendered on your web page. So you can see here they're divided into 212. So you can come and read these notes in your free time. And then these 12s, you can play them with them. For example, you divide them into 4, 4, 4, and then you have 3 sections. Or you divide them into 6, 6, because 12 divided by 6, then you will have 2 what? 2 sections. So those spaces, you can use them to create your what? Your content. So that they call that's the system that we're going to look at, and we're going to see how we can use it. So in fact, Bootstrap, it was invented most especially for this column system. So it is very important, and you need really to understand it. Make sure that before you proceed, you've understood really what is meant by this column system or the grid system. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a new file in our project, and I'll use it to elaborate this grid system. So I'll come here and then create a new file. So I'm going to press Ctrl N and say Ctrl S, and then I can just simply come this file and just click here on new and make sure that I'm in the same folder, and then I'm going to give it number 15 underscore bootstrap grid system.html. And then you know the reason why we are giving them the numbers, because we want our all content to be to be organized. So if we come to the code another day, we should know where we are according to the numbers. Or if you share with the code with your friend, they should know where I started from and how you went on organizing your content. And that is possible through numbering our content. So I'm going to include Bootstrap in our project, so I can just simply come here and copy some of these things and paste them there. So I'm going to include Bootstrap. Of course, this is just a basic HTML that we already looked at. So here, this is a head, and here I'm including the Bootstrap CSS file into our project. And then here, this is just a container, and then there's nothing there. So if I come just put here the word lorem, I'll simply have, let me go ahead and open this project and we see what we have so far. So I'll come to the project, to the web browser, and then press Ctrl O and open the project, the file that I've just created, which is file number 15. And if I open it, you see, that is what I have, which is just a blue screen with these words of lorem ipsum. So I hope everyone can do this at this point, okay? Including the Bootstrap into your project, and then be able to do this. So after doing that, let us go ahead and see what is meant by Bootstrap grid system. So what I'm going to do, I'm going just to create here a simple grid system. So to create a grid system, you have to be very, very attentive. The first thing that you begin with, you have to create a row. You create a row, then that row you go on dividing it into into columns, and then those columns are the one that you can use to put there your content. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to create the first row. So I'm just going to create a div. So you know what means by div? It's just a section, and then here I'll just come and give it a class and give it a class of row. So if I come here and put here some content, of course, it will be just nothing but content there. So once you give a class of row, it means that you have created a single row, and you're going to split it into into columns, and those columns are the ones that we call grid. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to put here, for example, 2 columns. Okay. So since we say that the maximum number of columns that you can divide in a Bootstrap grid system, they're up to 12. Okay. So if I want to put 2 equal columns, what does it mean? I have to create another div inside here. And you know what's made by a div? A div is nothing but a container. So I just simply come here and create a div. Okay. And then I give here a class of row. Sorry. A class, okay, of column. Okay. So these columns can be divided into 12 possible ways. So I can just simply say call. So that's how we divide the columns of grid system in Bootstrap. Call, then you put a dash, and then you put a number. So I've said that I want to divide this section into two main sections. So what does it mean? It means that I have to do what I have to calculate. So 12, if I want 2 columns, it means that I have to divide 12 in a way that I should have 2 as the response, which is 12 divided by 6, and then you'll have 2, of course. So it means that you have to put here 6. So it means that this is going to be half of the grid, or half of this row that we are creating. So if I come and put here something, of course, you may not see it. For example, okay, if I come and put here lorem, of course, okay, let me remove lorem. Of course, if I do it like this and I leave this thing empty, you will not see anything, okay? And if I come and maybe, okay, I'm going to create now the second column that there should be 2 equal columns. So I just simply come say div and then come and put here class call dash 6. So I know 6 plus 6 is equal to 12. So I mean that these 2 columns, they will fit into this row. And I mean these 2 columns, because 6 plus 6 equals to what? Equals 12. So if I come and refresh, of course, I will not see anything. Why? Because I have not put there any content. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to create here my simple classes that will help us to differentiate our divs, okay? So I'm going to create here my simple class, of course, just simply write style. This is the header style, if you still remember, okay? And then to create a class, of course, we begin with a dot, okay? So I put there style dot, and then I give a class. So I'm going to call it my div, and then open curly bracket, and then you can specify there how your div should look like. So here I just want to give them height, okay? I'm going to give the height. So anything that will have this class will have the height that I want. So I can just simply say height and then give it maybe 40. I can give it maybe 200 pixels, okay? 200 pixels. So it means that every div that I'll give this class, it will have 200 pixels as what? As its height. So I'm going to copy that, my div, and I'm going to give it here, okay, to this one. So I mean that this column it's going to be, of course, column 8, and it's going to have all the properties that I've done here, that are given here. But still you will not see anything. Why? Because it is still white and there's no content there. So if I want to differentiate, of course, I have to give it maybe a background color. So I don't know whether I've covered background colors. Yes, of course, we covered them. So to give a background color, I can say BG danger, if you still remember these things, okay? BG dash danger. So by doing like this, we'll have our div with background of danger, and then it should have a height of 200 pixels. So if I come and refresh, you see we're having something beautiful of that end. So it's beginning from here up to here. But if I want to see the full width, then I have to remove this part, this container thing, and also this padding thing. Okay? So if I do like this and come and refresh, see, it is half, okay? Because it is the row will spend the full one, the full width. And then if you want to divide that row by 2, of course, if you want to get two columns, 2 possible columns, then you have to divide the row by 2. And to divide the row by 2, of course, you have to put 6. So 12 divided by 6, you'll have to get 2. That's why you see we're having a div that is spanning a width of 2. So if I come here and also give this one a class of my div. Why did I give my div class? Because I want it to have the height of 200 pixels. And then I give it BG, maybe success. You know what is meant by success, okay? So if I come and refresh, we'll have something like this, which is beautiful. So it means that we can now separate our space into 2, okay? We can now separate our space into 2 equal parts using the Bootstrap grid system. So that is just a glimpse, and that's something small, and it just gives you a picture of what you can use with the Bootstrap grid system. Okay? So if I want to add their content, of course, I'll just simply come here. For example, and just write lorem, and then maybe I can come here and give maybe text and give them white. Okay, text white. Okay, so it means that I'm going to have there my simple text. And you can see this text is not crossing this side. Can you see? This text is not crossing this side. Why? Because we limit it with the class of Bootstrap of call 12. And that means that wherever this class stops us, is where this thing will also stop. So that is what is meant by what? By Bootstrap grid system. That's just a simple introduction. So you can use it to do many things to organize our layouts. So it means that if I want to, that's one task. So I can put here, so 2, I can simply say 12 out of what? Out of 6, which is 2, of course. This is called 6. I can put called 6. And then I can also put here called 6, just to show, to elaborate, okay? So if I come and refresh here, of course, I'll have something here called 6 and called 6, okay? Something that has been divided by 2. So let us go ahead and create another row, and we see how we can play with it. So to create another row, I'll make sure that I'm out of this row, and then come here in bottom and create a div, and then give here and then I give here row, and then come and give it a div here, okay, and then give it a class of call call. For example, now the question is, what if I want to have 3 equal divisions? Assume that I want to have here 1, 2, 3 equal divisions. What should I do? Can someone, so it means that here I'm going to give a call of how many? Can I get an answer from you guys? If I want to divide if I want to have 3 divisions here, so it means that here I should give a call of how many? Call then how many? If the maximum is 12 and I want to have 3 divisions, can I have sharp brain to give me an answer there? Call?
Yes.
Call what?
It is called for.
Very good. That is very, very good. Thank you. It is called for. Because 12 divided by 6, we will get 3. Thank you so much for that great answer. So I have to put call for. So if I come, let me just give here maybe the bg, my div, okay, and then I give it maybe bg info. So I just want to have some difference. Just maybe put here empty 5. Okay, so it means that call for. So it means that I'm going to have something that will have a division of 3, because 12 divided by 4 is going to be 3. So I can duplicate this one. I can just duplicate it. I know how to duplicate. I already discussed that. Okay, Control Shift and the arrow down, you will duplicate. So let me put here bg success and maybe bg dark. Okay, so it means that I'm going to have 3 equal columns in this row that I've just created. This empty is just a margin top. So if I come and refresh, can you see? We're having 3 equal columns. So it means that if you want to create your simple paragraphs, or if you want to separate them into 3 different columns in your website, then it means that you'll have to do what? You'll have to use like that to separate them. Okay? So that, I hope you're getting now the concept of why we need what? Grid systems. So even though it is on the mobile phone, let me come to inspect. Just right click on the screen and then go to inspect, and then click on mobile phone. Can you see? It's still the reduce. Here we have 3 columns and here we have 2 columns. So and how are you able to do that? By doing this one as call 6, and this one also doing it as what? As call 444. Okay? So that's it. That's the grid system, the basics of it. Now, if you want to now play with it, for example, you want to what? To have maybe here 2 and here 2 and here something in the middle that's going to balance with it. You can still do that. You can simply come here and say, let me create another one as we're getting the concept. So I can just simply come and say div. You shouldn't memorize that all the time. You should be balancing calls, okay? So I can simply come and say div and give row, and then come and say here another div and give it a class of my div. Why do I give it a class of my div? Because I want it to have height, okay, my div, and then I give it a class so that's going to help us separate it. So I can as well say call 2, okay, and then give it maybe bg dark, and then I also here I'll create another div and give it a class of my div. Why do I give my div class? Because I want to have the height, and then also give class of call 8. Okay, so I know 2 plus 8, that is 10. How many remaining? Remaining 2. So I can as well come here and create another. Let me give it a bg warning. So I can go ahead and give here another div and give it a class of call what? Call 2, give it my div, and then give it of bg maybe info. So what does it mean? It means that it's going to balance still. This plus this equals to 4. This one plus this one equals to 4. And then when you add there 8, no, it's going to balance. Yeah, when you add 8, of course, it's going to be 12. Okay, so it's going to be 2 plus 8, which is 10, and then plus this one's going to 4. So we'll have something like that. So if you refresh, you see, let me put here some margin top. Okay, empty 5. If you come and refresh, have something beautiful like this. Okay, so you see, you can play with these columns. So it means that you can put here your content, and here you put another content, and put here another content. It's just up to you. So you can play with this grid system. So I can as well come here and change this one maybe to 3, and then this one also to 3. So what's going to happen? 3 plus what? Plus 8, that is going to be 9, to be 11. Plus this one is going to be 14. So it makes mean that it's going to be out of the what? Out of the Bootstrap grid system numbers. Okay, so it's, the maximum is 12, but you can say according to what I've done, is going to be, the total is going to be 16. So what is going to happen? Let us see. So if I come and refresh, can you see? This one was dropped down. Why? Because we're remaining with a space of only 1. Because this one plus this one is 11. This one is 3. This one is 6. This one is 8. So this one plus this one, it's 11. So there is remaining only one space, or a space of one column. So if that one column does not fit there, the next column will just drop. The next column will just drop to the what? To the next line. So you see, it did not fit there and just dropped here. So I hope you see that. So it means that if you did not do your mathematics properly, or if that's what you want, and these columns, the total, they go beyond 12, the next div goes to the what? To the next row. You can see, because this one is 3 plus 8, that is what? That is 11. So 1 is remaining, and then to drop down in case it is more, because here we again wanted to fix here 3. Guys, are you getting the concept? You may not do it exactly right now, but are you trying to relate, trying to see? These are just division that we're going to be putting there. What? To be put there, or to be putting there our content. So I don't know whether you're getting concept. Hadi, are you there? Are you following? Hadijat? Hadi, are you following? Okay. Gillian, are you following? Gillian Morgan.
Yes, I'm following, sir.
Okay. Are you getting the concept? You may not memorize the code, but are you relating the concepts? Or you're totally lost?
But I've just joined now.
This is your first class?
I've just joined.
Okay, no problem. Philemon, are you getting the concepts? Nyombi, Philemon, are you getting the concept?
Yes, I'm getting it.
Okay, that's good. Of course, you can watch these videos again. Of course, I'll share the link after the class. You can rewatch them and practice at your own pace. You'll understand. So, if I refresh, you see, that's how it is. So if it means that if I wanted this one to fit here, so it means I had to change this one to 1. Call what? Call 1. So if I come and refresh here, can you see? It is now fitting, because it is now can now sum up to 12. Okay? So that is a basic introduction to what? To Bootstrap grid system. So you may see these colors, but they may not make sense here. But when you start designing our projects, you'll find them very important, because in these colors, it's where we're going to put what? It's where we're going to put our content. Okay? So if I come here, and let me show you another example. If I come here and create another div, now here I'm not going to do what? To put the colors. So I just simply come here and put class, and then put a row. And always make sure that you surround your columns with rows. And then come and put your div, and then put your class call what? Call 6. Okay, let me put call. You can as well use other numbers. Call 7. So it means that if I say call 7, How many are remaining? I'm remaining with what? With 5, right? To make 12. So I can write here my content. So you see, my content is there. So if I say, okay, so if I want to finish, I can just go here, put here a div, and put here another class, and put call what? Call 5, it's the one remaining. And I also put there some other content. So if I come and refresh, you'll see we're having this. This is 7, and the content of 7 is not crossing to this 5. Otherwise, if you don't have this grid system, so how could you separate your content? It will be really a little bit challenging to separate your content. But if you have this div system, you can really use it to separate your To separate your content. So make sure that you practice and practice and practice until you get this first concept that I've taught you about about divs. We have not done, about Bootstrap grid system. We have not gone so deep, but this is the most basic. If you know the maximum is 12, and what happens in case you go beyond 12, then you'll understand, and how you can play with them to separate the section of your width. And knowing that as you're not just limited, you see this was just an example, but this is now the implementation part of it. Okay, so you can put the pictures on one side and then you put the content on the other side. So something like that. When you proceed, we'll find these divs very, very important. So you can come and learn more here. Okay, so now we're going to proceed now to responsiveness. For example, assume that you're making a website, okay? And let me come here, this website. You're making a website. So if you make a website and you have a screen, of course, these people will, of course, your website will be accessed on both mobile phones and computers. So the computer has a very wide screen, as you can see. Okay, it has a very wide screen. So what does it mean? It means that you'll have enough space where you can render there your content. But a mobile phone does not have too much screen, as you know. Okay, it does not have too much screen, as you know. So what does it mean? It means that you have to be so smart to consider that, hey, this website that I'm creating, it will be used both on mobile phone and computers. So if I come and change, if you want to see how your website will look like on the mobile phone, just right click and then say inspect. Okay, then you see here an icon of mobile phone. Just click on it, and then you will be able to switch here mobile phones. For example, if you want to see how your website will look like on Samsung Galaxy, click on what? On Samsung Galaxy. Okay, on iPhone, on whatever. So if I say Samsung Galaxy, it will look like this on Samsung. Okay, so can you see? Our content is not really responsive. If you have ever heard of the word called responsive, the ability of of a website to be compatible on both devices and the content remain relevant. Can you see? This was supposed to reach here, but you see, if I'm having content here and content here and content here, it will not look good because the lines will be broken even as for a whole word ends. Okay, I hope you can see here. But it will really look good if if intelligently the website knows that I'm now on the mobile phone, and then makes each of these things to be one column, one full column, each column to be a full column. Otherwise, if, for example, we had separated this one into 6, our column will really look messy. Why? Because content are being divided, even if we're on a small screen. But if you want to make sure that you consider the small screen, then you have to know that at this breakpoint, instead of showing them 3 columns, I should show them what? I should show them 2 columns. Let me give you an example. This is my website, one of my news website. Can you see here? I'm showing 3 columns, okay? Because I know I'm on a laptop and I have a big screen. So there is this column 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm dividing it into 5 columns. But it will not be smart as how I know the phone is small and I keep on showing even 5 columns on phone. The image will look so much tiny. and the content will be broken, and they may end up losing what? Losing sense. Look at YouTube. Okay? Before you were users, of course, eh? Before you were users, you did not mind about it, but you're now being turned into developers. So your website will really what? Will really matter. Okay? So you have to know everything. So before you did not care, of course, YouTube you can access on the mobile phone, but you did not care. But right now you should look at this. Can you see? I'm having 4 videos per rows. I'm having 4 videos per rows. But if I go to mobile phone, let me change it to mobile phone, right click, inspect. And then I change this one to what? Samsung Galaxy and refresh. Can you see? Is YouTube showing me videos, 4 videos per rows? Why? Because it will be not smart to show me 4 videos per rows. Everything will be what? Will be too small, and I cannot have a good website to look just ugly, okay? And it may lose meaning, okay? But you see, they intelligently know that, hey, is now on the mobile phone. And then they start showing me 1 video per what? Per row. 1 video per row. So to do that is what we call what? Is what we call responsiveness. I've shown you. So if I go back to the big screen, can you see? They're showing me now again back 4 videos per row. Let me show you my news website. I'm showing like 5 news posts per row. If I come to inspect and then come to inspect, and then can you see? I also intelligently know, hey, now this time the guy is on what? On the mobile phone. I reduce and I start showing 1 post per row. 1 post per row. But it will be dumb to keep on showing 6 posts per row. But when I know he's on the computer, I do what? I optimize. I use now the spaces. I skip on what? But you can do it. Everything will work, but the user experience will really what? Will really matter. So let's come back now to this, to our what? To our website. So I've learned that we can separate them. Now let us see now how we can do the responsiveness part. Okay? So I'm going to create another file that we're going to use that to do what? To elaborate the response, how we can do responsive web applications. So after you have understood what is meant by call 1, call 2, call 3, now you go to the what? Responsiveness. Let's check the time. Okay, so let's go to responsiveness. So I'll come to this very file. I can save it as, because I have it, so I'm going to save as Ctrl Shift S. Ctrl Shift S. Bootstrap grid system, and then I'm going to put here, I'm going to add responsive. And I'm going to change this one to what? 16. So here I'm just going to rub some garbage so I can have a fresh thing. So I have 2 files. One's for responsiveness and the other one is previous one. That is saved as Ctrl Shift S. This grid system is very important, you guys. You should practice it as much as you can and make sure that you understand it before you even proceed. So I'll save and come back to, I'll save and then come to my project. I'm going to open the file that I just created. So I'll just simply say Ctrl Shift O and then come to file number 16, which is this one. Open, and then there is nothing there. So we're going to look at what? We're going to look at responsiveness. So here you must be very attentive at this point. So Bootstrap, it divides our our gadgets or our system into what? Into 5 classes, or into 5 different breakpoints. The first one is called call. Okay? Call is call, the one that we've been using, it starts working from a very small screen, from small size screens up to the what? up to the maximums. That is call. The second breakpoint of a screen is called SM, or what we call small devices. This one starts from what? From 576 pixels. So every phone which has 576 pixels width. Every device, okay, that has a width of 576 pixels, we categorize it as a what? As SM, small device. So what are these phones examples of these phones in our real life? Examples of these devices in real life. These are for things like phones of buttons, Mapesa. Those phones which have buttons. They're the one which has 600. If you want to target that phone, if you want to target the device that's accessing website that has a width of 576, we'll use SM, the term SM, then we'll be targeting those ones, okay? So it means that examples of real world phones, these are the small phones which have buttons. These buttons phones, there are some button phones which can access internet. So those buttons phones, they have that small screen which is having 576 what? 76 width pixels are their width. The next one is called MD. We call them medium devices. So medium devices, these are smartphones now. Our smartphones which having 764 pixels width, okay? So our smartphones, of course, has a bigger screen and bigger pixels than the one with buttons, So those ones are the one that we call MD, medium devices. So if you want to target smartphones, we'll use a class of what? Of MD. Then the next one that has the other width that we can target is called LG, large devices. The one which has 992 pixels width, okay? And these are the normal laptops, okay? A laptop, like a normal laptop. If you want to target how your website should look like on a normal laptop, then you'll have to term that one as LG, large device. Then you have XL, extra large. Those are the big screens like iMac, TV. There are some TV which can access a website, a projector which is really huge, and they're accessing a website, which is super huge, which is having like 12,000 pixels. 1,200 pixels and above. Those are the ones that you call what? Extra large devices. So if you want to target how your website should look like on extra large devices, we call them LG or XLG, okay? So that's how Bootstrap helps us to target different websites and decide how our website should look like on those different screen sizes. I hope you are together. Now, the classes above can be combined to create dynamic, flexible layouts, and I'm going to show you how it's done. And then each class scales up. So if wish to set the same width, SM and MD, you only need SM, okay? We're going to look at that. So let us go ahead and see now practically how we can play with these responsive classes. So remember, call is the most minimum. SM, we are targeting small devices and above. MD, we are targeting medium devices and above. And LG, we are targeting extra large devices and above. So let us go ahead and do that and elaborate what we've just spoken, okay? So I'll come here to the class that I just created. And then I'm going to create here a new row. So I just say div and then come and say class and then say row. And then we put here some empty 5. And then let us now look at this. I'm going to just simply say div and then give here a class of call. Let me share that I want to divide them into 2. So 6, and then give here my class of what? of my div, so that I should have it as height, and then give it a background color so I should be able to see it. BG danger. Okay, so I'll duplicate it, and then I'll come and change this one maybe to BG info, and then we'll have 2 equal divs. Okay, this is what we just practiced a few minutes ago. 2 equal divs. So if I come and refresh here, I'll have something like this. Okay, I hope this is self-explanatory and everyone understands this. Now let us now look at this. How can we change into responsiveness? Okay, so assume that I'm creating a website. I'm putting 2 videos. One video here, another video here, just like YouTube. Okay, one video here, another video here. Now, what if I want, when someone access on this website, on a single website, I mean on a mobile phone, instead of showing them 2, I should show them one video per column. So let's see how it's done. So if I come and change my width to a mobile phone size, click and inspect. Can you see? It is still, so this is how it looks like on Samsung Galaxy. Can you see? It looks still there too. In fact, if you want to also play with the width, of course, if you want to play with the width, click here on this toggle, remove the phone. You can toggle here, can enable the phone, disable the phone. So click here and change responsive. You see, here you have responsive. So click on responsive. So when you have this responsive part, you can change the width to your own width. Can you see in the on top here? Here on top, you can see there. So there, you can change the width. Can you see the pixels? I hope you are seeing here. Now these pixels, width. You can change your width. So you can see how your website is going to look like on different devices without suffering. So can you look at my laptop? It is having too much pixels. It is full HD. So it is even going beyond the extra large device. The extra large device in Bootstrap, it is 1200 pixels. But here, my laptop can go beyond 1200 pixels. So if you want to see how it looks like, so here they say that a smallest phone is 500 pixels. So it means that this rule starts working on this smallest phone. So if I put 500 pixels to look like this, okay? So there, we're in small phone. There, we're in iPad. There, we're in normal laptop. Here, we're in big laptops like this one. Okay? So, now let us see. The column is not changing, but our target want to show 1 column per row. I mean 1 column per row when we are in what? When we're small screens. So, to do that, what we'll do, we'll just simply come and now implement these Bootstrap loads. So, we want to target the smallest screen to show 1 video. So to do that, you just simply leave this one, call as it is. Call 6. Sorry. If you want something to show 12, if you want to have only 1 row, let me explain this. If you want to have only 1 column to show 100%, what does it mean? It means that, let me ask this question clearly before I even go there. Philemon, is still there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, keep your microphone on. So why is this one stopping here in the middle?
It is given 6.
6. And 12 divided by 6, it is half, which is 2, right?
Yes.
So what if I want to make it reach here at the end? What should I do?
If it is to stop at the end, then we take 12.
Very good. Because 12 divided by 12 is 1. So it's going to be 1. So I have to put here 12. Thank you so much. You can now mute. So if I come and refresh, can you see? It's now 100%. So it means that if you want to get something to display 100% of your width, you have to give it call 12. I hope you are together. So we have now known that, okay? So let me go back to where we were and refresh. We have 2, okay? Now I want to say that on a small device, when I'm having less than when this website is being browsed on a small device, it should show full screen, okay? It should show 12. So it means that I'll have to come. So if you want to target a smallest device, you just say call. Okay, so if you say call, it means that that rule will start acting on the smallest device. So I just simply say call 12. Okay, call 12, and I put here maybe call 12. So if I do like this and come and refresh, can you see they are spending now 100% of the screen? Okay, can you see that, members? It is spending now 100%. But the problem is, if I go to big screen, still 100%. But look at YouTube. If I go to big screen, it shows me 4 videos. Okay, but if I go to small screen, I click on inspect and then I move. You see, when I go to small screen, it shows me 1 video. When I go to iPad, it shows me 2 video. When I go to laptop, it shows me 3 videos. When I go to big computer, it shows me 4 videos. We want to have something like this, so that our website should be responsive. But you see the problem now, right now, when I put 12, it shows 12 from the smallest up to the biggest. That's a challenge then. Okay, so we want to limit it. Like, okay, when you reach on an iPad, start showing 3. When you reach on a laptop, start showing 4. Okay, so our website should be responsive. So to do that, so what you do first, you first set the minimum rule. Of course, the minimum rule is this one, call 12. So it's showing 100%. Okay, so I want to reduce it now. When it reaches iPad, it should show 2. Okay, so if I want to show 2, that is called what? Call 6. Now that's when you come now to specify SM and MD. Okay, so if you want to reach an iPad, so beyond this one, maybe beyond a smartphone, or start reaching a smartphone, that is MD, like LG. So if you want to say on smartphone, it should show 2. So what should we do? So you come and add here 1 more rule. So you say this be minimum rule. So I mean this rule will start working from the smallest device. You add another rule, call MD, I mean SM. Okay, you can say SM, but most time we break from MD because this we start breaking from what? From a smartphone. I mean from an iPad. An iPad starts at MD, right? So it's just, but SM you can also do it. Okay, call MD. So it means that when it reaches an iPad, MD means an iPad, medium device, okay? Or an iPad or a smartphone. When it reaches an iPad, then you put a dash and then you specify the number of columns that you want to show on an iPad. So I can put here 6. So I mean that when it reaches an iPad, it should start showing 2 because 12 divided by 6 is 2. So if I come and copy that rule and also add it there, I just add it there. So it means that this one will implement on the minimum, but when it reaches an iPad, it starts showing this rule until the maximum. Okay? So if I save, come and refresh. If I save, come and refresh, still showing. So I'll move. You see? It is now showing 2. I move 1. Can you see that, guys? Just like YouTube. YouTube, when I move to small screen, it is showing 1. When I move to an iPad, it is showing me 2. When I move to a laptop, it is showing me 3. When I move to a big screen, it is showing me 4. Beautiful. Okay, so we have also achieved that just by an iPad size. When you reach an iPad, we start showing what? 2. Let me check the time that is remaining. Yeah, we're remaining with 10 minutes and then today's class will be over. Okay, so I hope you're together, right? So what if I want to say, like, when you reach an iPad, now you start saying 4. So it means that this rule, can you see the rule of iPad starts from iPad up to above. So if I want to say now, the next screen break will be at MD. So with MD I've already done. The next break screen will be at LG, which is a laptop set. So that is an iPad. So I can come here maybe and add more columns. Let me add more so that you can have enough examples to elaborate. Okay. Can as well do like this. Let me duplicate these ones. So I refresh. Let me change the colors maybe. Info, maybe change this one to warning and change this one what? To dark. So you come and refresh. Beautiful, right? So you see, if I'm having my YouTube videos, okay, if I'm creating something like YouTube video, or if I'm creating a website for news, I'm creating anything, my website can be now responsive. When someone is using a smartphone, I show them one post per what? Per column. When he goes on iPad, I show them 2 posts per column. Beautiful. And I want, when they're using what? A laptop, I should show them 3 posts per columns. Okay? So to do that, we're going to add one more rule. So this is the rule that is acting from MD, from medium devices and above. But if we want to add another rule that is going to act from large devices and above, so I'll have simply come and say call MD. Call LG large. Of course, already looked at that. Call LG 4, right? 4. I think, yeah, because 12 divided by 4, I'll get how many? I'll get 12 divided by 4, I'll get 3. So I'm going to have 3 things. So I'll put that class on every column. So I save, come and refresh, boom. Can you see? I'm having 3 just because I have less videos. I call the videos, okay? But you can get the concept. Can you see? They're now 3. If I reduce 2, I reduce 1. Okay? So these 3 will start up to the top. So if I want to now add the maximum, the last one, which is going to be call Excel extra large 3. So 12 divided by 3 is how many? It is 4, right? So I'm going to have 4 columns on the large devices. Okay? So guys, I hope you're getting it. So this one rule will act on what? On small phones. This one will act on iPads and smartphone. This one will act on laptops. This one will act on big screens like TV or like my laptop. Refresh. Can you see? I'm having 4 columns. I'm having 3. I'm having 4. I'm having 1. Beautiful. So if I come and maybe duplicate so I can have enough more to play with, can just come and duplicate here. Maybe let me look at the colors that have not worked. Info. Which color have not? No, info I've already done it. Warning I've already done it. Which color I haven't played with? Success. And then I think that's all. These are enough. So if I come and refresh, I have so many divs. Can you see? When I'm on big screen, I see 4 per column, just like YouTube. When I'm on big screen, I see 4 per column. So let us go ahead and reduce the screen, inspect. See? When I'm on small screen, medium, not this. I hope you can get the concept. So if I come and do the same here, inspect. So you see, 4. 3. Just because I have minimum, that's why you're showing 2, because you don't have too much. 3. 2. 1. So beautiful. And then our website will be what? Will be responsive. Do you have any questions so far? Like, I did not understand anything. I not understand shit. I hope you're getting the concept and the reason why we need this responsiveness. So, that's how responsiveness works. Let me see if we have time. Remaining 4 minutes. So how can you implement it in real world? Still you can do it. Let us do it very fast in the last minute. So I'll just simply come put here Ctrl Shift S and then 17. Implementation. So I can just remove this stuff, and I'm going to do it very fast. Okay, command open, Ctrl O, and then command open this. There's nothing there. Okay, so let us go ahead and elaborate it. So I can just simply put here my div and give here class of row, and then give here maybe my div and give it a class of what? We'll call 12. Okay, so I have here some images, this one and this one and this one, so you can also play with the images. So I'm going to just put here a card. In the video that I'll share with you, I also talked about cards. Card, and then this card will have a div. It will have an img of img stroke 1, and then this is an image that is here, and then maybe we'll have also another div and give it a class card footer, and then here maybe put a h2, or maybe h4 maybe, and maybe put here so that's what our single item. So if I come and open, if I come and refresh here, I'll have something like this. Okay, it's not responsive, so if I add responsiveness, come and give here class, add a class called img, come and give this one class img fluid, so img fluid, it will make sure that this image does not go beyond its grid. Let us give just some, that specifies width. The image is too large, that specifies width, and maybe the image is super huge. Let me see if I put it outside here. I want to show you how I can implement these grids in real world. Okay, let me limit it 100 pixels, 100, just put 100, should work now. So that's our first image. I think the problem we are doing, what we're having it as full, okay, so it is full, it is 12, so it's going to spend full. So if you want this one to show a 4, so you have to put, if you want it to show 4 on a big screen, so I have to put call XL, and then you give 3, right? Then it will show a space of 4. Can you see? There are 4. Okay? It can take a space of 4, literally. So if you wanted to show 3 on a small lead, on a medium device, call what? Call LG 4. You have understood this, so it means that on the small device it will also show that size. And you can say also call LG, MD what? MD6. Yeah. So if I come and refresh, our time is up, for today. But let me finish this. Okay. So if I come and refresh, you can see that. So let's go ahead and duplicate it so you can hear the concept. So I can duplicate it. I'll come and maybe add another image 2 and this one image 3. Maybe here Nairobi be here. Mombasa. Maybe you can duplicate here one more. Can put maybe Kigali. So I can come and duplicate so I can have enough of them. I just want to show you that you may need responsiveness. So I save, okay? Come and refresh. Yeah. And one hasn't too much hate of the other, that's why. Let me, which is that one? The image 2. Let me change the image 2. It's having too much hate, so it may confuse you. So everywhere I have 2, can change it to 1. So I can refresh. Can you see? We're having 4 videos, images per what? Per row. If I inspect, I come on iPad, I see 3. I mean on laptop, I see 3. I come on iPad, I see 2. I come on a smartphone, I see 1. Okay, that's beautiful. So they can be your products for your shop, e-commerce shop. They can be anything, but they are making sense of what? Of responsiveness. Okay, with that said, our class will end from there today. We'll share the video and the task to try. And one more thing before you finish, before you end your session, always make sure that you remember to go to your project, commit GitHub, and then commit and then push so that you can have your repository all updated. So that's it for today. Let us meet in the next class. I'll share the task that you'll have to try out and also the video to this link. So see you another day, and the video will be posted maybe in the morning or within this night. And have a good night, members.